Hello, Snakes. My name is Dante, and today it is Podcast Tuesday. Fortunately, this is a recorded podcast because I'm in England right now. And yeah, this podcast and next one will also be recorded. Don't worry, after that, I will be back with real live podcasts. Don't worry, but well, this time it's an interesting one. This is about the lore of Nicol Bolas. So I'm gonna have a combo and a non-bo as well, but this is a different one. This is gonna be about the lore of Nicol Bolas. So because his story is ended. I mean, he's trapped in his own in 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 the prison realm. So just like how Gideon is dead. So yeah, we're not getting more lore from those characters because they're dead, or not dead or inactive. But let's just start with the combo, and then non-bo, and then we'll proceed with the story. So all right, all right. We got Rayto Lantern, Time Warp, and River Song. So it's 2 mana artifacts, and for 3 mana, send a card from the graveyard to the bottom of the library. So basically, this is an infinite turns combo. Just use Rayto Lantern, throw Time Warp to the bottom, and then draw it again with River Song. That's basically the combo because you draw from the bottom, you just get infinite turns. It's just so good. That's basically our uh, combo of the week. Now it's time for the non-bow. And we have for our non-bow. Not really non-bow, but this is a reverse interaction. So maybe we'll play Grief, Subtlety, literally anything that has Evoke. So you can throw it away into the graveyard and then get back with Living End. Now here's the issue. Grief specifically killed. No, no, not killed. Well, I mean, Grief and Fury kills, but Grief takes away a card from someone's hand. So there is a chance that when you're using Grief on them, they will have creatures on only creatures. You cannot remove something else. And I mean, in this deck, Grief nerfed down to duress level because if you throw away a creature from the opponent, it will come back with your own living end. So you try and so yeah, Grief in a living end deck gets nerfed down from Foxy's level to duress level. So yeah, that's basically a reverse interaction. So yeah, just want to let you know about this one. Let's just start with the beginning, how it all began. All right, we're back. We have Nicol Bolas, the Ravager. So this is basically young Bolas. How Nicol Bolas starts in the lore. So basically, started out. He is one of the youngest, right, or basically the youngest, tied with Ugin, or like from the Elder Dragons that were spawned from the Ur Dragon. Yeah, Ur Dragon. Uh, yeah, the Ur Dragon is the father of like, or the parent, or like of all the Dominarian. Well, not yeah, Dominarian Elder Dragons. Well, I'd say Dominarian because they uh they landed, they fell from the sky and landed in Dominaria. That's like they just it's like the Ur Dragon's wings just drop down eggs from the sky that fell like meteors, and then they just landed and then hatched uh, Nicobolus, twinned with Ugin. But then, so basically, Nicobolus and Ugin were in the same egg, but then the other ones were in individual eggs. So yeah, they named each other Nicol and Ugin. So yeah, it was just Nicol for now. It wasn't Bolus yet. Started off as Nicol, but then also but they were small. He and he and Ugin were smaller, like half the size of the others because well they shared the same egg. So basically they they were like half Elder Dragons. So yeah, but but then there was also Maravia who died like instantly to literal humans and dogs. So yeah, so yeah, and yeah, they and so yeah, and then after Chromium point that twins share their names like one for each. Um, because Nicol and Ugin they didn't have surnames, but like there was Chromium Ruel and like all the other Elder Dragons had their surnames. So but Nicol and Ugin they didn't. So Nicol took the last name Bolas to feel equal to the other Elder Dragons. So there we have Nicol Bolas. Now Ugin stayed as Ugin. So yeah, and yeah, but then they were like um, but yeah, young Nicol Bolas and young Ugin were hunting in tandem, and like they were just normal. They didn't like hate each other or anything. They're just yeah, it was just they're just good. And then like so yeah. Also after taking and Arcades was like also a elder dragon, but he wasn't a human settlement. He decided to take a residence and stuff, but then and and then uh and yeah, and then afterwards like Nicol Bolas started manipulating all the humans and stuff to um like all the dragon hunters to into having a quarrel and stuff, and then Nicol Bolas became supreme leader, and then afterwards like and then Ugin just realizes that Bolas never truly cared for him, so that made Ugin a planeswalker. So yeah, let's go in to the Dragon War part. So this is um the Dragon War where we have all the Elder Dragons, and yeah, it predates the Brothers War actually, and the Fran Empire. So yeah, the Elder Dragons decided to like were engaged in a fight that lasted like thousands of years. Basically which is the Elder Dragon War, and Nicol Bolas emerged victorious, but there were some survivors like Arcades, Chromium, Palladium Moors, and also the cousin Vivictus is mine, and other unnamed dragons or unnamed characters. But after the but then like but then like at the start of like during the war, like Bolas ruled half of Dominaria, and the final battle and was on Jamura between Bolas and Arcades, and then Ugin actually ended up saving Arcades. Uh, so like and then the war ended, and the thing is that Ugin became a planeswalker way before Nicol Bolas, like thousands of years. And after Bolas realized that Ugin had the spark and he didn't, and they like what ignited he ignited spark in rage, and planeswalked away. Now this is when we get to to the meditation realm. So you see this? This is Bolas's meditation realm. Well, it wasn't always Bolas's meditation realm. This was just a random plane known as the meditation plane, and and this is where Nicol Bolas and Ugin fought each other on the meditation plane, and then afterwards it just it was also a very long conflict as well. But then after all of those fights and other stuff, they um there Bolas killed Ugin, and Ugin found the water, which those waves just so large waves just started splashing, and then they just went on and on and on until they went beyond the bounds of the meditation realm. Like it went. Those waves were so long; they went through the blind eternities, and they were like, and yeah, and then Nicol Bolas then he fell all the way down, like 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 lots of planes, like so many, like it's not even certain how many planes he fell through, and then he ended up uh back in Dominaria on the island of Madara. So now this is another right. So this is a So this is when Bolas fought the a demonic Leviathan planeswalker. Yeah, that exists. There was a demonic Leviathan planeswalker, and it and the fight went for a month, uh, reducing the island of Madara to a third of its size. Not so like this fight broke like 67 or 66% of the island. Wow, and they created the first ever temporal rift with, and then after at the end of the fight, Dragon relied upon his such defeat. So yeah, yeah. But then after like Bolus defeated the Leviathan, he actually started eating the the Leviathan. Yeah, and it lasted a year, or more than a year, in fact, absorbing the power as well. And after finishing it, it just ate it whole. And and then like and then those were and then it was left as the Leviathan was literally left like um the Talon gates. Yeah, those are the Talon gates. You see, that is literally the Leviathan, and it was left there like as a trophy. So yeah, and then like and then and yeah, also and yeah, it's just one of his landmarks that he just likes to visit. So he just left it there um because finds it cool just to remember like his victory uh over the demonic Leviathan. Well, let's see. This is the this is in Tarkir now. Well, this is when Nicol Bolas defeats Ugin again. and Azor noticed the Nicol Bolas' evil power and stuff, and he tried and also Ugin was reborn, like after dying against Nicol Bolas on the meditation realm. Ugin is the spirit dragon. That's why like Ugin is a spirit dragon. Like he died like as a normal elder dragon to Nicol Bolas, and now he's a spirit dragon, and Nicol Bolas is gonna fight and basically kill him again or something. And but then this was um this was when Azor used up his own spark to um create the immortal sun and basically try and trap Nicol Bolas in its sun. But spoiler alert, Nicol Bolas actually uses the sun to his advantage afterwards. So yeah, and then but yeah, the plan was to trap Bolas in Itzalan and but bait Bolas into going to Itzalan and then trap him there. But well, um, but yeah, Nicol Bolas was smart enough to figure out that to figure out the trap because of Azor's mark, in different planes, and yeah, that's when Nicol Bolas traveled to Tarkir to and he was able to turn Yasova Dragonclaw into his pawn. Yasova being like kind of the Temur clan, and 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 she wanted to kill the dragons. Yeah, uh she was one of those who wanted the dragons to go extinct. Which well, it did go extinct in one of the timelines, which was the Khans of Tarkir timeline, which there are no more dragons left. But then Dragons of Tarkir is the alternate reality where dragons are still alive. The extinction event was prevented, and yeah, just and yeah, they just and of course that basically worked in this timeline where Nicol Bolas defeats Ugin one more time, and but that's one timeline where Ugin is dead. But then there's another timeline where Sarkhan ends up saving Ugin, like 1,280 years in the future. Like, and yeah. So yeah, that's why Ugin was like alive. This is like, but yep. Let's go in. All right. So this is um there's this moment that Bolas became metaphysically tied to the Madaran temporal rift. You know that he created like whilst fighting the demonic Leviathan, and he wasn't able to like appear on Dominaria without anchoring himself to the local mana lines. So unless unless it's unless he wants like his presence to like overwhelm and destroy the plane. So yeah, then there's like, but on Madara was like exactly set up for all the blue, red, and black mana, the Grixis colors. You know, like so that Bolas could just appear there. That was like perfectly set up for him. You know, so and then uh and then also and then he also killed the Empress of Madara, and now he has Imperial Shrine on that exact spot. So then he went on for 4 centuries as the God Emperor of Madara. Yep. But but in this, he also created his worst enemy. Yep. Tetsuo Umezawa. Yep. Tetsuo Umezawa, not Tetsuko or Toshiro. Yeah, this one. This is like the first Tetsuo Umezawa card. Yeah. And and then of course he literally tried so many times to kill Bolas. But then he uh but then like Bolas went to follow Tetsuo's spirit into the meditation realm. This time unaware that it was a trap, so he was able to identify Azor's trap, but not Tetsuo's trap. Well, okay. And then that was a fatal mistake. Using the Meteor Hammer spell, Tetsuo was actually able to destroy the Imperial Shrine. And that was where Bolas' actual body was, so so yeah. He was the anchor from him to Dominaria was destroyed, literally. So since Nicol Bolas had no physical form, he was unable to go back to Dominaria or any plane or literally anything. So yeah. So yeah, he was not able to, and since he wasn't connected to Dominaria and mana, he wasn't able to like. He was left with no with little to no magic. So yeah, and it's just and yeah, there's a so yeah, that was like Nicol Bolas was like left rendered almost useless or stuff. Like he was like he was a planeswalker sorcerer and dragon, but like he basically didn't even have any of those abilities. So he was literally powerless against Umedao, and then he even died, bro. But of course, uh, he was able to connect since he was connected to the temporal rift. There was still a remnant of his life force that was still lingered by the Madaran coast, and yep, it was and yeah, that was and then also so his essence was like remained present and that, but also then was overrun by the Necro descendants of was it or Necro thing being like cat dragons. Um, yeah, I think Necros are. Uh, let's see. Wait, I don't remember, but yeah, Necro. I think yeah, the Necro uh descendants. Yeah, and since the temporal rifts expanded, he was able to basically come back to life. And and then after he came back as like Sensei Ryu. Yep. And then also Teferi was lost in one of those rifts, and he actually he also used Venser's Planeswalker Spark to escape his prison and basically reincarnate himself into the physical world. So he was basically so he basically just resurrected himself with Venture Spark and Time Rift and stuff. Yeah, yeah. That's basically but yeah, he just um he just comes back and ends up um and then also ends up defeating Teferi because well Teferi challenged Nicol Bolas to battle and Bolas easily won and Planes walked away from Teferi's attacks and basically tortured and yeah. Yeah, he literally just literally destroyed Teferi in that fight. So yeah. But then he ends up letting Teferi live so that and heal himself. So yeah. Now Bolas went to try and kill the Umezawas and went for Kamigawa. So then he then returned again, got ambushed by Leshrak and challenged him to a duel. And well, Leshrak um was defeated after an epic battle and was imprisoned in the mask of the Myojin of Night's Reach. Yep, you know, um, the black Myojin from original Kamigawa set. Yep, and implied it. But yeah, Bolas was able to like remove the Night's Reach dark power, but then like but yeah, then afterwards like Bolas confessed to Teferi and his companions like he had literally observed the rift phenomenon and took responsibility for yeah closing the rift on Midar. So yeah, there's so yeah that's how it went out and mm, but then also but then this could collapse the multiverse itself. So Bolas had a plan to preserve himself if that fall would happen. So then he went for a plane, probably. I won't get, but probably yeah. I don't know. I think it is. Yeah, I won't get it. But yeah, let's just see. So I'm not gonna tell you yet if you went to Amonkhet or not. But yeah, let's go in. He went to Amonkhet. Yup. 7 mana sorcery. Oh, that's approach of second. Sorry. Well, all right. Let's just talk about what happened in Amonkhet. So, well, well, after leaving Dominaria, or but also before the mending of the rifts, that's basically the mending era and the pre-mending and stuff. Well, pre-mending was like before, like was before the temporal rifts got mended. Like literally, Bolas was the one behind destroying all those like temporal rifts and disrupting the multiverse. So then the multiverse got mended, which is now what we know as the mending era. So yeah, but then also and yeah, he was in Amonkhet drawn to the metal Lazotep. Yep, and how it would react with necromancy. So yeah, Lazotep being a fictional metal in Amonkhet. So yeah, and of course, when he arrived, he found himself rivaled by the 8 gods of Amonkhet. So you know the 8 gods. If not, no, I'll just recap them to you: Alketra, Kefnet, um, uh, Hazaret, um, Ronus, let's see, wait, Bontu, Locust God, Scarab God, and Scorpion God. Those are the 8 gods of Amonkhet. So yeah, and yeah, he literally was able to rival the 8 gods. He was actually still, even after like being weakened, he was still very powerful. So yeah, and of course, but of course, in uh uh Bond to actually conspire with Bolas to betray, the other gods and stuff. But yeah, I was like, but yeah, but then Nicol Bolas destroyed the protective barrier of the city, and he just and it literally and he just killed all the adults on Amonkhet. So that weakened all the gods because those adults were worshipping those gods, which apparently makes the gods stronger if they're worshipped or something, and end up corrupting the gods into worshipping Bolas. Yeah. So and of course, free gods were like set aside and literally just twisted to be Nicol Bolas' servants. But then the other five were just mind controlled into believing Nicol Bolas was like the god pharaoh, the horned one, the one that sits over the entirety of Amonkhet. So yeah, he was just he just warped an entire plane to his belief. Yeah, yeah. He would, and then of course, he was and then he also used like, and then also the mummified dead of the plane raised the children. Also he built himself monuments and prophecies. Well, that he would one day come back down to I want to get yeah he would just yeah like basically glorifying like himself as the the true god of I want to get yeah yeah he was that powerful, yeah. So and so yeah, he had his own religion and also he even brainwashed the others into thinking he created Amonkhet. So yeah, but then he actually didn't. So all he did was just take over Amonkhet. So yeah, he's just and and also Liliana then reiterated those rumors. Of course, he read the rumors that he created Amonkhet, and then also the false prophecies of him returning when the second sun is positioned between the effigy of Bolas' horns on the plane. Yeah, like so. Yeah. Now let's go into Liliana's contract. So Nicol Bolas ended up making a contract with Liliana. So all right. So Liliana uh like after like sometime after the mending, Nicol Bolas met Liliana, and she was just jealous that Bolas was basically unaffected by the mending. So but of course that wasn't true. He actually lost a lot of power. So like more power than what Liliana could literally achieve. So yeah, uh, yeah, yeah. And then Bolus ended up like being the broker for the four demons to just form a contract with Liliana to basically restore some of her power and keep her young, but also she would basically selling her soul for service. Uh, but then like Liliana ends up killing those four demons to basically free herself. But then she realizes that once she'd done that, that instead of dissolving the contract, she would be under the servitude of Nicol Bolas. So that's basically how how the so yeah, that's basically um yeah. There's also a lot like also reiterates like itself a lot. Like there's like um he ends up going to Alara um and he lost like a lot of his knowledge. So yeah, after the mending, but then he tried to like um but yeah um he just he basically goes to the conflux like to try and regain his power in Alara and then yeah, he just ends up going his power. Then then he then like interests himself in the war on Mirodin, tries to um and ends up um and then yeah, because he knew that the Fire Red were like a threat to the multiverse, just like Nicol, Bolas, and the Eldrazi and stuff. He tried to um like if he became like a God Emperor, he would destroy Nicol. He would destroy new Fire Reds. Nicol Bolas would literally destroy new Fire Reds because it would literally rival his power. So yeah, he goes to Zendikar as well um and investigate the Eye of Ugin and basically left Sarkhan to guard that eye, make sure basically to protect it, nothing would disturb it. But yeah, Sarkhan was like misled. And then there's the Hour station where he just defeats the Gatewatch. His plan works out, and yeah, he just defeats them and and yeah. So basically, so when he just defeats the um like he was able to defeat all of them. Like he just um like Jace had his like failsafe or something that you just get sent to um so he just gets sent to its and loses his memory and stuff. So yeah, saves Jace, also Ugin's secrets and stuff. Then offered Liliana to survive the confrontation and off and yeah, just literally want to try and help Liliana because well, Liliana was under uh his servitude. Yeah, and also so yeah, basically he just destroyed all of those planeswalkers like easily. So yeah, now this is when it goes to like Ravnica and the War of Spark. So it's just long. There's like a whole book on it, and I haven't even finished reading the book. So it was just long. Just basically he had his plan, like a very long plan to like try and invade Ravnica with his Amonkhet soldiers and stuff. You know, the immortal ones, even the gods as well. That came back to life after dying to the three gods that were yeah, you know, the locust, scarab, and scorpion god that basically killed, you know, the five gods. Yeah, and yeah, just he just he had his plan to cause the warp spark and like basically end up being so yeah, he just to defeat all the planeswalkers. But then he gets defeated, imprisoned, and yeah, he just ends up um like he like Ugin actually needed Bolas alive, not dead. So they so so yeah, they Ugin and Jace they decided that Ugin had to trap Bolas into the blind eternities, like if through the blind eternities into the meditation realm, and yeah, Bolas was left without spark. So he was he almost died in that. He was hurt badly from the blind eternities because unless you have a planeswalker spark or you're just powerful enough to go through the blind eternities, well, the blind eternities could just kill you like almost instantly or stuff. So yeah, and then Bolas was left nameless. So yeah, and then of course you know it's Bolas and Ugin are trapped there. So basically, Ugin is just watching Bolas until Bolas just dies of old age in thousands of years. Yeah, yeah. So there's also a lot of stuff on like the test of metal and other parts of the story that literally just contradicts the lore and stuff. So we're not gonna go over that. And also if you want to know more about Nicol Bolas' story, I suggest you read the War Spark book because that one's like very long. So I can't really explain it in a single video. So, anyways, congratulations, you've reached the end of the podcast. So why don't you like and subscribe, follow my Twitch channel, share with friends, stay tuned to videos, streams, and podcasts. Next podcast will be recorded, but they always release 4:30 GMT. Stay tuned to them. Watch my videos too. And yeah, yeah. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and bye.